Ladies and gentlemen, this is Scotland's Strongest Man 2017, held in Dumfries for the 5th year in a row, and we will see who will be crowned Scotland's Strongest Man for 2017. Let's look at the athletes. First up is Brian Radcliffe from Lanarkshire, a debutant. Second up is the very experienced Neil Hamilton from the Shetland Islands. Our third athlete doing battle is another debutant from Cairney in Fife, Mikey Wilson. Our next athlete is the very experienced former podium finisher Mark Hunter from Edinburgh. The next athlete's one of the hot favourites, last year's runner-up, Tom Stoltman. Up now, another debutant from Lanarkshire, Johnny Hailstorm Hale. Gary Burke from Cairney in Fife, making his third appearance at Scotland's Strongest Man. Shetland's Strongest Man and the under 105kg Strongest Man, Danny Moore. Next athlete is Edinburgh's Kenny Sim. One of the hot favourites, last year's podium finisher, Paul Benton. The local lad from Dumfries, Stephen Murray. From Stirling, Lewis Mitchell, making his second appearance as Scotland's Strongest Man. One of the big fan favourites, Ayrshire's John the Machine Pollock. Edinburgh's Ryan Reid, the speed demon, very fast, very mobile, former rugby player. Former podium finisher from Stirling, just married, Zaki Maluzi. Another debutant, Jamie Goran. The experienced daddy, new daddy, Scott Milne from Lanarkshire. And last and certainly not least, the 4 times champion, the defending champion, the Inverness Oak, Luke Stoltman. Lanarkshire versus the Shetland Islands. Now, I was at the qualification process for this competition, and the winner in the qualifier was Neil Hamilton with 20 reps, but we've elevated the weight somewhat since qualifiers, and another £22 on each of these safes, but Neil's still churning out the reps. Currently Brian has 2 and Neil Hamilton has 7. So that's 8 now for Neil. Brian is still struggling on 2. Brian originally from South Africa, now residing in Motherwell area. That is Neil Hamilton, made 10 repetitions, ladies and gentlemen, 10 reps for the former Shetland's Strongest Man. Had a massive layoff with injury. He competed, the last time he competed in the final before this was 2008, so almost 10 years ago. And he's looking good here. That is a 12th rep for Neil Hamilton. Brian's still on 3. So that is our first pairing gone, and Neil Hamilton is in the lead with 12 repetitions. The next 2 athletes to try and take the event one away from him is Mikey Wilson and Mark Hunter. Both these guys attack the yoke press very aggressively, and they both now have 3 reps. Mikey's looking like he's struggling now at the 4th, but Mark's looking a bit smoother once he's got it moving. Is this the tortoise and the hare? It looks like Mark's got a cramping issue. Possibly his triceps are fatigued. Maybe they've went too hard in this event. Maybe they haven't paced themselves accordingly, just like Neil Hamilton done. Neil was a bit more paced in his process. Can he get one more? Yes, he can. That is 8 for Mark. And I think that's him done. Both athletes look fatigued, so that is a good battle there. 6 versus 8. Edinburgh with 8. Cairney with 6. Unlucky there. Now we have Johnny Hale versus Tom Stoltman. Tom was second in this event in the qualification process, and with no disrespect, Neil Hamilton, Tom looked like he had a lot more in the tank. He was just doing what he had to do to qualify. So he's up at 7 reps already, ladies and gentlemen. What a fabulous start. Very powerful man, Tom Stoltman. Ridiculous overhead power, massive log and axle press. But this particular event requires a lot more balance, core and timing. As you can see, the athletes got to get right under it and throw it up in one motion, but at the same time making sure there is no perpendicular movement in the yoke, any sway in that yoke, and they will move forward just like Tom did there. But he's sitting now with 13 reps. He's in the lead. Johnny with a very solid 4 reps for his debut. Has Tom burned out at 13? He knows he needs more. His brother's the defending champion, and his brother's very, very strong overhead. Has Tom get any more reps in him? Johnny's attempting a 5th. Tom's going for that 14th rep, but he was unable to lock it out. Johnny's done it 4 as well. Very good debut from Johnny, and our new leader is Tom Stoltman. Now we have Danny Moore and Gary Butt. Danny has every single overhead record in the under 105 category, a phenomenal lifter with a very good Olympic lifting background, but unfortunately you can't split jerk this yoke, as it has to go up in a linear movement. It has to be very, very smooth, and you have to press it in one motion, or all the additional force and sway will cause you to fail the rep. Danny's struggling a bit here. He's only got 2 reps. Gary unfortunately has yet to score, and I think he's leaving it at that. Gary has some very, very good vents to come up. No, he's trying it again. So unfortunately these 2 athletes are struggling with the yoke press, ladies and gentlemen. 2 versus 0. Shetland Islands have 2, and Cairney and Fife have 0. Gary's going to make one more attempt at it, but no, folks, it looks like he's not got the power to press this 250 pounds overhead. Danny Moore, normally a great presser, does not like that event. Now we have Paul Benton versus Kenny Sim. Kenny has been in the sport a long, long time. I first saw Kenny compete in 2004, ladies and gentlemen. Former bobslayer for the Great British team. Paul is one of the favourites here. He was a podium finisher last year. Let's see what these guys can do. They know they have to try and get more than 13 reps to take the event lead away from Inverness's Tom Stoltman. Very good pace from both athletes, nice and smooth. They're both pressing in unison, both of 4 reps. Kenny just slightly in the lead because of Paul Benton's stumble there, but it's 5 apiece. Kenny made 6 look hard though. So did Paul. Maybe they've went a bit too hard in this event. So Kenny missed the 7th attempt. Paul's now in the lead with 7. It's another good battle here. Kenny's caught back up with them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 apiece. Do any of these athletes have another 7 reps in them? I don't think so. Paul's grinding that out. He's got probably the second furthest distance to press it behind Tom. so he can't use his height as an excuse, as Tom's even taller. But it's 8 each. That's very good, solid points. But Paul Benton's not here for solid points. Paul Benton's here to win the event, the whole competition. And so far, he's sitting in 3rd place with 9 reps. Now he's found his form again. He got that 10th one. He was lucky to get that one. But Kenny's taking a break. Kenny knows he's perhaps only got 1 more rep in him. So Paul's back. He's found his 2nd wind, and he's got 11. This is a great performance. Now he's only 1 behind Neil Hamilton, and Kenny has got no more. So Paul Benton is in 3rd place with 11 reps. Kenny Sim with a very good, solid 8 repetitions. Now our next pairing coming up after we see Paul Benton look fatigued, tired and somewhat frustrated, as Stephen Murray versus Lewis Mitchell, Dumfries versus Stirling. Both these guys aren't massive overhead pressers, so they'll be looking for just some solid, steady points, as they know they have a long day with 6 events to go through. Stephen's doing good though, he's not too shabby with 3. Lewis has done 1, and I think he's going to leave it at that. Stephen's doing well. That's 5 reps from the youngster who has to live in the shadow of his father, Stuart Murray, a former World's Strongest Man competitor, UK's Strongest Man winner, and his dad's the event organiser. So Stephen's got a good solid 6 reps. Stephen's competed in Strongman before, but at the under 105 level, so this is his debut in the opens, the heavyweights, and you can see his father refereeing him there, no doubt giving him the dirty Stuart Murray evil stare, which we all fear. Lewis has called it a day at 1. He's happy to get some points on the board, and he's going to support Stephen through the rest of his attempt at the yoke press. Can he get that 8th rep? Yes, he can. What a grinder, Stephen Murray. Well done. Solid 8 reps there from Stephen. I did not expect him to press as well as that, but obviously some really good practicing since the qualifier. So now we have a great pairing. These two gentlemen are so evenly matched. John Pollock from Ayrshire versus Ryan Reid from Edinburgh. These guys have finished 1st and 2nd behind each other on numerous occasions. Both of them are flying. The guys have attacked it fast. It's Ryan is just in the lead now, 5-4. What a great battle. Both of them pressing in unison, but Ryan's just got that slight advantage, 6-5. John's doing well with 6. Now Ryan's got 8. Ryan's very good at this. He's not massively impressive with a 1 rep max, but because he's got such a great fitness background from his rugby days, he can really churn out reps, folks. And when you see him move, he can move. A very, very good athlete. And of course, John Pollock, the machine, one of the most statically freaky persons here. Very, very hard to beat when it comes to anything. Deadlift or squat. Very, very strong man for his size, and he has the heart of a lion. Ryan Reid is in the lead at the moment with 11 reps. John just behind. Can John get double figures? Can Ryan match Neil Hamilton with 12? Currently he's in joint 3rd place with Paul Benton. Can John get that 10th rep? John calls it a day at 9. What a great battle. 11 and 9 reps. Both guys will be reasonably happy with that. And Ryan Reid is in joint 3rd place. So he's currently in the lead. Tom Stoltman. 2nd place we have Neil Hamilton, and joint 3rd it is Paul Benton and Ryan Reid. Now it's a debutant versus Zaki. Jamie Gorin versus Zaki Maluzi. Zaki is a speed monster. Sometimes he can make the occasional mistake in the big occasion. Very strong athlete. Very, very good with anything mobile. But in the last couple of years as Scotland's strongest man, he's made a couple of wee silly mistakes. So this year, let's hope that he can put in the perfect performance. So the debutant, Jamie, is doing well. Good solid 7 reps. Nice wee double dip there, very good form. Zaki currently in 4, away down the table at the moment, which is bad for him because he is a former podium finisher. 5 reps is a little more respectable, but can Jamie get a 10th rep, ladies and gentlemen, on his debut? Can he get a 10th rep? Did he get it? Yes, he did. Well done, Jamie, just in the nick of time. Very good event there for Jamie in his debut. 10 reps to Zaki's 5. Lanarkshire versus Inverness. Scott Mullen versus the defending champion Luke Stoltman. Luke knows that he needs 14 repetitions to take the event win in his title defence here in Dumfries. Wow, very, very strong pressing power from Luke there. Very powerful. Scott is going for a more steady and controlled pace. Scott has just became a father, a daddy. So let's see if he's got daddy power or he's got sleepless nights to struggle his way through these reps. But yeah, his face is gone purple. He's working hard there, Scott. Stoltman is already at 10 reps, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite the performance. He needs one more rep to take the event win. And it's there, folks. And how easy was that? Ladies and gentlemen, the defending champion, 4 times champion, Luke Stoltman, with a very comfortable 14 reps. Scott Mullen's still got time to possibly bang out another rep. Paul Benton coming over to support him like he always does. One of the favourites with all the athletes, Paul Benton. But yes, he's left it there. Scott Mullen has 6 reps for his first event, round about middle of the pack. So that concludes event number 1, ladies and gentlemen, the Yoke Press. In 3rd place we had Neil Hamilton, 2nd place Tom Stoltman, and the winner of event number 1 was Luke Stoltman, the defending champion, with a very comfortable 14 repetitions. So folks, that takes us on to the Yoke Carry, the Super Yoke Carry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 380 kilograms, world-class weights here at Scotland's Strongest Man. Our next battle with 380 kilo, almost 900 pounds. We have Brian Radcliffe versus Danny Moore. So Shetland Islands versus Lanarkshire. Oh, this is fast here. This is fast from Danny. Just dropped it. But his time was 10.44 seconds. Now Brian has still got a little bit to go here. He's about halfway down the course. Remember, folks, this is his debut in Strongman. The gentleman is over 40 years of age. And he has 380 kilograms, nearly 900 pounds on his back. This is a horrible event. And he managed to do it in 32 seconds. Well done. Our next pairing is Johnny Hale versus Zaki. Zaki is fast and furious. This should be a speed run for Zaki. Very, very good at this event. No mistakes so far from Zaki. This is going to be sub 10. Yes, 8.13 seconds. But Johnny's no slouch for his debut. 13.13 seconds. A very good run from him. Mikey Wilson versus Scott Mullen. Fife versus Lanarkshire. Scott struggled with this event in the past, but he's put on some timber this year, so that extra body weight helps the stabilisation of core. And Mikey is a debutant, but he trains with Stevie Cherry, former champion, and he's very good at this event, so he'll show him all the tips and the tricks of the trade. But it's Scott Mullen. He just slid it there. I don't know how it's going to work. Scott Mullen gets 10 seconds dead. Mikey Wilson just behind with 10.19. Scott was lucky there. He just slid it at the last second, but the referee let it go. Now, this man, Mark Hunter, does not like this event, and neither does Kenny Sim on his other side. These guys will be slow and steady. And we want to make sure that they both finish it injury-free, but this is not a good event for either of these gents. I'm not a big fan of it. But Kenny put a very good solid sub 20 seconds in. I don't think Mark's going to finish it. I've never saw him finish a super yoke in his whole career. It's just one event. He just does not like. Every strongman's got that one nemesis event, that one Achilles heel, and this is Mark's, I'm afraid. Because you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is 900 pounds on the back of your neck. and the force it applies through your spine and your knees is just brutal. Mark's problem with it is he struggles with the breathing of it and gets dizzy and passes out. If he can finish this will be a very good achievement for him, because as I said, folks, this is his one nemesis event. He's almost there. He's almost there. Again, Paul Benton, the very supportive athlete, made sure that he finished at 65.25 seconds. Now that's not going to win him the event, folks, but that'll be a good personal achievement for Mark, because he hates this event. But now we have John Pollock. John is very good at this. He can challenge Zaki's run, providing there is no mistakes. And Stephen Murray is an unknown quantity at this event. He has put this back numerous occasions because he's been a platform crew guy for the last bloody 20 years. But John's had a slip, unfortunately. Stephen's chasing him. This is going to be a close battle, but no, John's back up very fast. Let's see what time he can get here. 11.81. He'll be annoyed at that. He should have been sub 10, and a very good run from the debutant Stephen Murray with under 15 seconds. You can see John Pollock's face there. He was upset at that small mistake, which could have cost him massive points. But we have Jamie Gorin. No fixed abode. He'll be going head to head with Paul Benton. Two very different athletes here, height, stature and experience, and Paul's up first and he's moving fast. Unfortunately, he slipped too. He was looking like Zaki time there, but he's done it in 8.12 seconds. Very good run from Paul. Jamie had a very good first event in the Yoke Press, managing to hit double figures, but now it's just about finishing that yoke. 21.10 seconds. Well done, gents. Paul looks relatively happy, but no doubt he'd have wanted the event win, but Zaki is a very difficult man to beat in this event. Now we have Neil Hamilton versus Ryan Reid. Shetland Islands, ladies and gentlemen, versus Edinburgh. Ryan is very fast and mobile, but let's see how mobile he is with 380 kilos in his back. And I've not saw Neil do much super yoke action. He's certainly built for comfort, not speed. Let's see what he can do as well in the other lane. But Ryan's off first, and he's moving very good pace. So far no drops. He's slowed down a little bit to avoid that drop. Oh, and it went. Let's see what he can do here. Can he finish under 10 seconds? No, 15.03 for Ryan. That's not a bad performance from the light man. And well done, Neil Hamilton. A good solid 21.28 seconds from Neil. Both those athletes will be happy with that performance. So now we're into the top finishers from the first event, the Yoke Press. And as you know, ladies and gentlemen, the Stoneman brothers were 1 and 2. These are brothers. Tom, the younger brother of 2. Luke, the 4 times champion, trying to make it 5 times today. He will have to beat Zaki's time to take the event win. Now, Tom is a phenomenal athlete. He performs excellently all over the world when he competes, but he's got a tendency to pay attention to his big brother sometimes when they go head to head, and he can stumble and fall. But this is neck and neck, ladies and gentlemen. What a battle. Wow. It looks like Tom got him 6.19 versus Luke 6.44. What a battle there, folks. That is 1 and 2 again. So Zaki has been demoted to 3rd place. So fantastic performance by the Stoneman brothers. During the interval, we have one of the world's strongest disabled people who is trained by Kenny Sim and Ryan Reid. And he's going to show what he can do with a super yoke here, folks. Unfortunately lost both his legs in an accident. I believe it was a landmine, is that correct? Yeah, he's a former soldier. And we're giving him the opportunity to show off his phenomenal skill set in front of this great crowd here in Dumfries. This gentleman is completing a super yoke around about 200 kilos with no legs. Incredible to see, and damn right he should be getting a standing ovation. Well done. So that takes us forward to event number 3, and it is the 295 squat for reps. Brian Redcliffe get 2 reps. Kenny Sim get none. Gary Burke get a solid rep to get points on the board. Lewis Mitchell get no lift. Mikey Wilson get 1. Scott Mullen looks like he got a solid 2 reps, folks. This is nearly 700 pounds in weight. Wow, phenomenal pressure on the legs. But our first athlete we're going to see attempting this after a roundup of the lesser scorers, we have Neil Hamilton, former Shetland's strongest man and a powerlifting background. He's done a few powerlifting comps. This is a Texas squat bar, ladies and gentlemen, with Alico calibrated plates, just under 300 kilos for reps. This is all about leg and back power. We've tested the static power of their upper body. Now it's all about who has the strongest legs and back in Scotland. Neil Hamilton is sitting now in the league with 4 reps. He's looking very good here. So these are good solid points for Mr. Hamilton, former Shetland's strongest man. He's called it a day at 6 reps, half a dozen reps. Edinburgh's Ryan Reid. He is the speed demon, one of the most mobile athletes I've ever saw from a rugby background. But let's see him how much power he's got in his legs. That was a very good solid opening squat. That's a second and just as fast pace. He's timing it well, making sure the plates hit the catches. This, probably in many people's eyes, is unexpected due to his lower body weight, but that is a very good, solid 4 reps for Mr. Reid. He's having a good, solid day today here at Scotland's Strongest Man 2017, and he'll be happy with that, especially after his training partner got no reps. The promoter's son, Stephen Murray. Stephen comes from a massive powerlifting background. He is one of only 2 men to have squatted over 800 pounds in Scotland. He has world records in the squat as well, and he's a former world champion. So he should be very, very good at this. We should see Neil Hamilton's lead under serious threat here. He needs 6 reps. So far he has 2. He's got the squat suit on and the knee wraps, making sure everything's tight, and he's getting plenty of rebound. He's just touching the foam and no more. A lot of the guys were sinking it and trying to get a bounce. But this is a new technique from Stephen Murray, and it's taken him into the lead, ladies and gentlemen. He has 7 repetitions from the debutant. Remember, Stephen's been involved in Scotland's Strongest Man for a dozen years or so. I said 20 earlier on, perhaps I was joking, he's not that old, but he's always been part of the platform crew and helped, and now it's his time to shine, ladies and gentlemen, and he's just about to complete double figures. That's almost 3,000 kilos in weight, and he looked like he had another one in him if he really needed it. Well done, Stephen Murray. 10 repetitions from the debutant. So now we have John Pollock. John the Machine Pollock, one of the strongest sets of legs in Scotland, and he is also competed in powerlifting. He squats on a very regular basis. So let's see what John can do here. John goes for 1. He paused that one at the bottom. That's 2. He seems to be bouncing it a little bit, which is taking him out of his normal gym rhythm, but he's doing good so far. That's 3 reps from John Pollock from Ayrshire, the Machine as he's known to his friends and enemies. 5 reps. Oh, he lost his balance. How the hell he managed to correct that, I do not know, but he's still going. Only John Pollock would wiggle, jiggle and wobble around with almost 300 kilos in his back, and he's managed to rectify it. He's now got 6 reps, same as Neil Hamilton. He's in joint 2nd place. Now he's in 2nd place on his own. Well done. There's an 8th rep for John. He needs 2 more to tie with Stephen Murray. 1 more to tie with Stephen Murray in the double figures club with 295 kilograms. There he goes, he's got 10, and he calls it a day at 10. Amazing performance considering the stumble involved. Well done, John. I'm sure he'd wanted more than that, but considering he lost his balance, that was very well rectified. Now we have Shetland's strongest man, Danny Moore, also under 105 kilograms strongest man in Scotland. A very, very good athlete, very rounded, and this is powerful from Danny. He's ranked top 5 in the world at the under 105 kilogram level, and he's a very likeable chap, a great persona. Now he's got 8, 9, he needs one more to go in a 3-way joint first place position, and he's got it. Can he take the overall lead with 11? Yes, he can. Shetland Islands are now in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Can he get a dozen reps? No. Oh, wow. Lost out there on some oxygen. He's on the floor. What a gutsy performance and a big smile from the very likeable, lovable Danny Moore. 11 reps, the new event leader. Now we have Zaki Maluzi from Malawi originally, now resides in Stirling. He got married this year to his fabulous fiancée and now wife. So let's see what he can do here in the squat. That's him, he's on the board. That means he's already got some solid points. A little bit shaky. He's got the squat suit fully up, which makes it a lot more difficult for reps. Just taking his time, composing himself between reps, making sure that he's got everything balanced and he's got enough oxygen in his lungs to attempt these reps. But Zaki's now got, that's a 4th rep from Zaki. Shaking a little bit, his legs are getting fatigued. Remember folks, this is almost 300 kilo for reps. That is a 5th. It looks like if he's got one more in him, that's about it, I think. Can he get a 6th rep in joint? Nope, he's calling it a day there at 5. He knows that he's still got 3 more events to go. Well done, Zaki. Very professional performance. So now we have Paul Benton. Paul is certainly not built for squatting. He's 6'6", I think, something like that, 6'6". Very long, slender legs, which is great for the mobility stuff and stones, but he's certainly not built for squatting. So let's see if he can counterbalance that with some brute strength. He's getting his stance perfect. Got the gum shield in so he can't crunch any teeth when he's grinding out these reps. And let's see what Paul can do here with 295 kilograms. That's one. That looked comfortable. He's got a nice low bar position. That's 2 for Paul. Paul's one of the favourites for this competition, folks. He was on the podium last year behind the Stoltman brothers. He certainly came here to win. So far it's not went exactly to plan, but he's still very much in the mix for the competition. He's now up at 5 reps, but that one looked tough. His back's arching forward, his knees are coming in. There's a 7th rep. That should get him some good solid points. That takes him ahead of Neil Hamilton, but not quite up there with John, Danny and Ryan. Now he's got 8. He's chasing down double figures. He's struggling here, but he's gutsy. Oof, the 9th was a grinder. He just got that and no more. Yep, 9 reps for Paul. That's good solid points, but ideally he would have wanted a couple more there. Paul's making a gesture about not wearing a squat suit, which of course the athletes are allowed to do so, and by not wearing one, you're merely just putting yourself at a disadvantage. Making a protest whilst you don't get the same amount of reps is entirely your prerogative, but if you're allowed to wear one, my opinion to anyone is get it worn. We have the winner of the first event and the runner-up in the second event, the 4 times defending champion, Luke Stoltman. Now he is built for squatting. 6'3", legs like tree trunks, and a very, very strong man. He's did this event at World's Strongest Man before, and that was a very good first rep, very smooth, just like his yoke press, repping them out like a piston. The only thing that Luke's got his disadvantage is normally he gets the luxury of going out last, but his brother will be going out after him, so he may have to push it more than he wants unless he's confident that his brother can't out-squat him. That's an 11th rep and a 12th. Struggling now though, he's maybe got another 2 in him. But he's got to remember he's got 3 events still to go. Oh, that's ugly. It's Jesus. How the hell he got that 13th rep, I'll never know. But he got it. Well done, Luke. That was the ugliest rep I've ever saw in my life. The spotters probably could have caught him there, but he's got 13 reps. He's now in the lead. And the only man that can take the event win away from him is his younger brother, the very handsome and charming Tom Stoltman. An incredible athlete with such a great future in strength sports. He's went for a slightly wider stance to counterbalance the fact he is the tallest man in the competition. As you can see, the monolift that holds the bar in place is up probably at its highest setting. He is huge, almost 7 foot tall, a gentle giant, and a very, very good effort here. He's up to 7 reps already, folks. Remember, he's the tallest guy in the competition, and everyone will tell you the taller you are, the harder it is to squat due to your body's biomechanics. But Tom is counterbalancing that with just pure brute strength and determination. And he's dumped it at 10 reps. The winner of the squat event was Luke Stoltman. Now we have event number 4, the loading event. This is athletes head-to-head trying to load the implements in the fastest time possible. The loading medley. It is 4 sandbags, and up first we see Mark Hunter versus Jamie Gorin. So Mark here, normally very good at this event. This is one of his better events. He's loading. That's 2 sacks for Mark. Over on the other side we have Jamie just slightly behind him. That is the 3rd sack by Mark, and Jamie is attempting the 3rd. Has Jamie paced it better though? Mark's looking a little bit tired here. Nope, that's the 4th one done. Oh no, he's dropped it. Oh, bit of drama, typical drama here, folks. Scotland's strongest man. He's got it up, needs to make sure his hands are away before his time's registered. And just behind him in the end was Jamie Gorin due to that slip by Mark Hunter. Now we have Johnny Hale versus Kenny Sim, and Kenny is lightning fast. This is a very good event for Mr. Sim. He's loaded 1 in fast time. Johnny's behind him, but not too far to be fair for the debutant. Johnny's having a good final so far. That's 2 from Kenny. Johnny's moving a bit more steady Eddie. Johnny's from a rugby background as well, and he's come back from a bad knee injury, so you can see when he runs slightly different than the normal kind of footpath of a normal person. He's got a slight wee injury he's getting over. But Kenny Sim's loaded 4, very, very fast. Let's see what Johnny can do here. Johnny from Lanarkshire, very likeable guy, and he has loaded the 4 as well. Well done, Johnny Hale, on your debut. But that is the leading time now for Kenny Sim. Now again, how about this? Training partners set up again together. Gary Burke versus Lewis Mitchell. Stirling versus Kirkcaldy. And my money is on Gary for this one. Let's see what they can do here. Lewis has got the gloves on, never missed a trick. We used to call him the baby Z because he looks like he's Runa Savickas' love child, although we have no DNA to prove this. So Lewis has got 2. This is Gary going for his 3rd. Lewis is now just starting to slow a little bit due to the fact he carries a bit more timber than Gary. Can Gary get this 4th sack up? He's just outside the time of Kenny Sim. Hands away, well done Gary Burke, what a nice guy. And he had a great performance here, and so did Lewis. Very good. Oh no, he's dropped it. He's dropped it off the side again, just like Mark Hunter. Let's see if he can get it on, get his hands away before his time's recorded. And the time's recorded. He'll be frustrated with that. Same mistake as Mr. Hunter. Now we have Mikey Wilson versus Brian Ratcliffe. Brian is in his 40s, but I must say, folks, he's in great shape for his age and a very, very fit man. Originally from South Africa. Well, I think it's Zimbabwe he's originally from. He's probably peeved off at me saying South Africa. He's originally from Zimbabwe, now resides in Lanarkshire. For some reason, why he would leave a beautiful, scalding hot country full of fabulous animals and great scenery to move to Lanarkshire, I don't know, but nonetheless he's there, and both these athletes, Mikey has smashed that there just and no more outside of Kenny Sim's time. Brian's still got 2 sacks to load, making hard work of these sacks. It's all about tactics with the sacks. The first 2 sacks are 110 and the other 2 sacks are 125 kilos, so it's all about pacing yourself here, folks. Some of the guys go out gung-ho, try and load the first 1 or 2 fast, and then their hamstrings burn out, and I think that's what's happened with Brian. Remember, it is his debut, folks, so he's went out too hard and not paced himself properly, and now as he gets into the 4th sack he's gassed, but he looks like he's going to complete it. Oh no, nope, he's just caught it off the lip and he's out of time. Unlucky Brian, that was unfortunate, but you either win or you learn, as they say. Ryan Reid versus Scott Milne. Scott's good, but this is right up Ryan Reid's street here. We want to take the event lead away from his training partner, Kenny Sim. Both guys load neck and neck. No, Scott's no slouch. And it'll be a good pacer to go ahead with Ryan Reid, because if you're hanging with him, you're doing well. That's 2 sacks each. Ryan is so fast back to that 3rd sack, and he's got it up, whereas Scott's now stumbled and lost a bit of time off the pace. Ryan straight into the 4th. Kenny Sim watching him, cheering him on, but you know he doesn't want him to beat his time. But he has. We have a new leader in the sack load, the loading medley, Ryan Reid, and a very good performance from the new daddy, Scott Milne. We have Neil Hamilton versus Zaki. Both these guys had a great squat performance, but Neil is around about 160 kilogram of weight. So as I said to you in the yoke, he's built for comfort, not speed. And you can see he's just walking back to the sacks rather than running back. He knows his cardiovascular limitations. He's a smart man. And Zaki, as per always, makes so many mistakes in the final. Such a great athlete, but he's jinxed with so many silly wee errors that cost him so many points over the competition. But he's moving well still. He can load these 4 sacks in a very respectable time. It's just going to be outside Kenny Sim and Ryan Reid, but he's got 4 up in a good time. Big Neil has loaded 3. He's here just to get these 4 sacks loaded. That's all he wants to do. It's not about time. This is his tough event, and he'll just be happy to get the 4 sacks loaded. And as you see, he's paced himself perfectly within his abilities. Sacks are loaded. He'll be happy with that. Well done, Neil. Brian coming over to give him a pat. Also very slow and lazy at these events. He can relate to him. Now we have Stephen Murray versus Paul Benton. Paul won the loading event last year, and he is very fast with those big long legs. And Stephen Murray is no stranger to a sandbag, because he's been a platform crew member for years. He's been putting these back for over a decade. In the qualifier though, I felt Stephen went a bit too hard in the first couple and then he gassed out. Let's see if he's rectified that by either going at a better pace or he's improved his aerobic ability. So we have Paul Benton here. Paul's got 3 sacks, and just behind him is Stephen Murray. Paul's just about to load his 4th. Is this going to be faster than Ryan Reid? No, just outside Ryan Reid's time, so he's not won this event for the 2nd year in a row, but nonetheless a fantastic performance by Paul Benton, and Stephen is looking good here to load all 4. A much better improvement than the qualification process for this final, so well done, Stephen. JP and Tom are lightning quick at this. This used to be John Pollock's worst event, and he trained it, and very seldom does he get beaten it. But this is the final of Scotland's Strongest Man. We have Ryan Reid and the Stoltman brothers and Paul Benton, so he's up against the best guys at this event. But John's no slouch. He's got 2 so far. Tom, though, is in definite pace here to take the lead away from Ryan Reid. Tom is moving fast, and that 4 sack is loaded. He's the new event leader, and John just behind him will be good solid points for Mr. Pollock too. That is 25.75 from Tom Stoltman. That is our new leading time. 2 athletes left. we have Luke Stokeman versus Danny Moore, the two best squatters. And these guys like a loading event as well. Danny has the slight disadvantage of height and leg length. Certainly as fit as Luke. Just made a stumble in that sack though. Luke's pacing this very aggressively to try and stop his brother taking the event win. At the moment it's 2 event wins to Luke, 1 to Tom, so he doesn't want to make it 2 apiece. He wants to win this, and that looked fast. Did he get it? Did he get it? 25. No, just outside. Oh, just under a second. So that event win went to Tom Stokeman. So now we're on to the Hercules Hold, and we'll see a montage of some of the good times. That was 42 by Brian. Neil Hamilton, 47.54. Stephen Murray with almost a minute, just under a minute there. Well done, Stephen. Danny Moore as well. Wow, Danny Moore getting 59 seconds. Danny's normally weak in the grip events, but a great performance from Danny. Jamie Gorin with a good solid 50 seconds from him, and doing well in his debut. Mark Hunter, a very good grip specialist with only 56 there. Gary Burke with a solid 57 dead, so it looks like we're in about just over a minute's going to set the pace here. Well done, Gary. Scott Mullen, 43.07, that is a bad one. And John Pollock with a very bad 25 seconds due to a poor setup there. He didn't set up right. Ryan Reid, 55 seconds. So now we start off with Lewis Mitchell. This is what John Pollock failed to do. He failed to set it up appropriately, and it cost him massive. So far he's in last place. But this is Lewis going for it now. He needs over a minute to take the lead. I believe the leading time there was Danny Moore, I think, at that point, yep. Stephen Murray, sorry, I beg your pardon, then Danny. Stephen and Danny. So Lewis needs to get into the zone here to break the 60 seconds now. I can tell you a bit about this event, folks. This is the Hercules Hold. You maybe saw it in World's Strongest Man on numerous occasions. And it's all about grip strength. It's all about who has the strongest hands. We've tested the strongest shoulders in the Yoke Press. We've tested their mobility in the Yoke Carry. We've tested their lower body in the squat. We've tested their fitness in the loading event. And this, the 5th event, is all about who has the strongest grip in Scotland. And Lewis is doing very well at the moment. He's switched off, he's got the eyes closed, he's got the gum shield in. He'll be taking his mind to a happy place as his hands are being ripped open. And he is the new leader, ladies and gentlemen, 62.19 seconds. Now we have Kenny Sim, former Great British bobslayer, former Marine as well, a very nice gentleman from Edinburgh. And as I say, he's been in this game for a long time. He won Shetland's Strongest Man in 2002, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what he can do here. Ryan Reid is his training partner. Ryan had a good solid 50 plus seconds. They're very competitive. He needs to do 63 seconds to take the event lead at the moment. As you can see, folks, there's not a lot of action going on here. You just get to watch these phenomenal athletes, the 18 strongest men in Scotland, go through the pain barrier as their shoulders are being pulled out of sockets. The pain in their hands is phenomenal, and they have to have a very, very, very strong mindset to be able to tolerate the pain as both these pillars of Hercules pull their hands open. It's all about grip strength, but you have to have some serious kahunas as well to tolerate the pain. As you can see, Kenny's now in the pain zone. The hands are shaking and they're opening. 61.64, just behind Lewis Mitchell's time there. Hundreds of a second in it. Sometimes in this competition, 1 second can take you from 5th place to 15th place. Mikey Wilson. Mikey there has just done the same thing that John Pollock done. He didn't have it set up properly and it swayed him right to the side. Let's hope he doesn't have the same issues as John. Mikey is a debutant, trains at Apex Gym with a former champion Stephen Cherry, taking a year out to recover from some serious injuries. Stephen was a great athlete at this event himself, so I'm sure he's shown Mikey all the tricks of the trade, how to set his hands up to make sure he's got his body in the right position to transfer the pain and the force over the right muscles, and to teach him to tolerate the pain, not get too excited, not let the heart rate elevate, just switch off and relax as best you can as these two pillars of Hercules try and pull you in half. Mikey's looking good here. He's had a very good performance. Mikey could be one to watch in the future. Looks very much like Stephen Cherry as well. That bald designer stubble red face look is the in look currently at the moment in Kirkcaldy and Fife. The girls go crazy for that look. And Mikey is the new leader, ladies and gentlemen, just under 70 seconds. What a performance. Now we have the Hailstorm, Johnny Hale from Lanarkshire. This is Johnny's debut. He's only been doing strongman for a very limited period of time, and he is going through the pain barrier right now, trying to stay focused. Very, very good prospect for Scotland's strongmen. Johnny's went for the lean over situation, the lean over setup, which is slightly different. Mikey leaned back and let all the pain go through his lats. Johnny has the lean over techniques, which means all the stretching will be going through his pectoral muscles. But he's doing good here. Remember, folks, he's only doing strongman for less than a year. But he's doing well here. This is a very good solid time. As you can see, the hands open, and Johnny Hale's time was 62.25, second place. So we have two debutantes in first and second at the moment. Very, very good performances. We get to see Zaki go for this Hercules hold. Oh, again, Zaki didn't quite have it set up properly, but he's rectified it. Now Zaki's got a very strong grip. The grip event and the qualification process was very similar to this, but not as visually as impressive. And Zaki was very good then as well. So he's had a good solid day so far, but I'm sure Zaki is always coming to these competitions to better his third place finish from 2 years ago. And as you can see, he's going for a bit in the middle with the technique. He's got the elbows high and the shoulders forward. He's very composed and very relaxed. No stress or strain so far at all. Both these pillars look fixed in position, and a slight move there from Zaki, just adjusting to accommodate. It looks like his right hand wants to move, but the right hand's going. I don't know what the hell's happened there, but he's still holding on. This is brute strength from Zaki, grinding through his gum shield. He wants this event when the gum shield has been ditched, and he is a new leader, 72.90 seconds. Well done, Zaki. Being very meticulous and precise in his setup, blowing the handles to make sure there is no excess chalk on them. He's went for an ultra wide stance, sitting right down. He's going to make sure the force is applied over his deltoid muscles and not his pecs or lats. He's got his headphones on at the moment, trying to zone out with some music of his particular choice. Perhaps he's going for some death metal, perhaps it's some classical music, we don't know. But whatever he's chosen, that's the musical score that he's considered appropriate to help him win this event. So, looks solid and steady. We know that the leading time is Zaki with 72.90 seconds. There was a great performance for Zaki, certainly his best so far in this competition in the fifth event.
No pain.
Paul shouting out there, no pain. He's looking solid and steady. He's a pretty good day so far, Paul. He's not put too many feet wrong. He's just been slightly off the Stoltman brothers' pace in all events, but he's certainly looking like he's possibly going to finish in the podium at least. But that's the pain kicked in and the hands are opening and he lets go at 72.50. Wow, just 4 hundredths of a second off the leading time. That's unfortunate for him, lucky for Zaki, and to be fair, the amount of stumbles that Zaki's had, he's due a bit of luck. Now we have the defending champion, Luke, 4 times Scotland's strongest man, Stokeman. And if I can take this opportunity to inform you that a former strongman, one of my very good friends and nemesis, we have Goose. He won the competition 4 years in a row. So Luke is trying here to make it 5 in a row and take the record away from Goose, aka Christopher Innes from Fort William. So this is him attempting to make it 5 in a row and be the first Scotsman ever to win Scotland's strongest man 5 years in a row. He looks very relaxed, but his arms seem to be bent slightly. I don't know if that's a technique that he's chosen particularly, but it looks like his wrists and his arms are not fully straight and flexed out, which I don't think is the best technique to use. And I don't think that Luke's going to make it to 73 seconds to take the event win with that technique and form. His hands are opening now. You can see he's struggling, folks, and he's only hit a minute dead. That is one of the worst performances I've ever saw from Luke, and I mean that with the greatest respect. He's normally first, second every year, but he is well off the pace in that one. Could this be the moment where his younger brother takes the lead in the overall competition going into the last event, which is the McGlashan Stones? The door is open, ladies and gentlemen, for Tom Stokeman to be crowned Scotland's strongest man 2017. All Tom has to do is hold these pillars for 73 seconds. He's got the hand size, he's got the wingspan, and he's certainly got the pain tolerance. Has he got the mental strength to switch off and get those pillars to stay upright for 73 seconds? This is his moment, ladies and gentlemen. He's been behind his brother every year at this competition, and we all know Tom would love to take Scotland's strongest man trophy and move it to the other side of the mantelpiece. But he's struggling here, folks. This is not looking good for Tom. This is not looking good at all. The pillars are all over the place. His feet are all over the place. This is him just grinding out seconds. His hands are opening. This is gutsy, but he's not got much left. 58.47 seconds. That is behind his brother. So we know that the event winner for the Hercules Hold was Zaki Maluzi, and now we go into the Atlas Stones. At Mark Hunter making his final event for 2017 Scotland's Strongest Man. He's loaded 3 stones, I beg your pardon. He's loaded 3 stones and has 3 more to go to complete the set. The final stone is a massive 200 kilos. The stones these days in strongman are just insane. You have to be an absolute powerhouse in the Atlas Stones to even load 4 these days. So over on the other side we have Brian with his rugby tip on, and he's in the process of trying to load the 3rd stone, but it was unsuccessful. Now we go back to Mr. Hunter. Can he load stone number 5? He'll be wanting to get as many points on the board as possible to get his name up the finishing scoreboard as much as he can. Mark is a former podium finisher at Scotland's Strongest Man and very, very experienced, but can he get this 5th stone up, folks? That is a no, I'm afraid. So that was 2 stones for Brian, 4 for Mark. Now we're looking at, I believe that is Lewis Mitchell. Lewis has put 2 up quite fast, straight into the 3rd. He's no slouch with the stones, Lewis. And he's going head to head with, that is, I believe, Jamie Gorin. Jamie in his debut, I think he's a good day. I'm surprised he's in the top 4, the bottom 4 places. But now he's going He's loading that 4th one. Well done, Jamie. He's pumped. He's having a great time. He's calling it a day at 4 stones. And Lewis is asking how much time he's got left, but he's called it a day at 4. Now we have Gary Butt. Gary has been involved in Strongman for a few years, and he's tried to qualify for the final for numerous years, but didn't quite make the pace. And now he's qualified and he's having a ball. He's been in the final, I think this is his 2nd or 3rd time in the final. So he's very much like a fine wine, Gary Butt, getting stronger with age. Now we have on the other side Johnny Hale, the Hailstorm. He's loaded 3 stones. This is Gary attempting the 3rd. So in the lead at the moment, I think, is Jamie Gorin. He got the 4 up faster. Perhaps it's Mark Hunter. I'll let you know as soon as I get the times. And Gary has loaded the 4th stone, the 160 kilo. Johnny's attempting the 5th stone. If he gets this, he will be the event leader. It's both these guys for a very good day at Scotland's Strongest Man. This is their final event, probably the toughest, to be fair. And these guys have to lift up to 200 kilo, which is brutal in the first place. But after 5 events where we've maxed out your legs, maxed out your grip, maxed out your mobility, your cardiovascular ability and your shoulders, these guys are absolute warriors. Scotland's Strongest Man gets tougher and tougher every year. Now we have Kenny Sim. Kenny is capable of loading these 6 stones. A very, very good stone lifter is Kenny. Let's see what he can do here with his stone run at 2017 Scotland's Strongest Man. His final efforts for today. 1 motion, the 1st stone there. Over on the other side, we have Neil Hamilton. Both these gentlemen are former Shetland Strongest Men. And I believe Kenny won it in 2002 and Neil won it in 2005. So both have backgrounds in the Shetland Islands, but Kenny's done 4 stones and Neil is attempting the 4th stone. This used to be a really, really tough event for Neil, but he's got better of it as he's went in his 30s. Let's see what can we see. The 5th stone loaded for the first time here from Edinburgh. It's Kenny Sim. This is the big 180 kilos. Will it load for Kenny? Oh, unlucky. Kenny would load that no problem if it was the first event, but these guys are exhausted, folks. This competition taxes their body to the absolute limit. That's how we know who is Scotland's Strongest Man. And after these Atlas stones, we will crown this year's. So Neil's calling it a day at 4, and unfortunately Kenny only got 4. I'm surprised at that. Now we have Scott Milne. Scott Milne's always did well at Scotland's Strongest Man, but he's struggled with the pace. He's always did great first 3 or 4 events and then struggled the last few, but he's looking fitter now. Looking much fitter. He's a good stone lifter, is Scott Milne. And over the other side we have Stephen Murray. Stephen's had a very good day as well. The highlight being obviously the squat lift, which he did fantastic in. And he's looking like he's going to load 4 stones. He's not messing it up. Unfortunately, a wee slip there. But Scott is attempting the 5th stone. Could Scott Milne from Lanarkshire be the first man here to load stone number 5, 180 kilograms? He's certainly done the hard part. Can he get this on the whiskey cask? Come on, Scott. Oh, his back just won't let him lock that out. He's exhausted. He just can't quite make it. This 180 kilogram stone is world-class lifting. To do that is the 5th stone, and a stone run in the 6th event is brutal. Now we have Mikey Wilson versus John the Machine. John the Machine Pollock. Didn't recognise him there with his green belt. It looks like it's some kind of tape on it. But John is one of the best stone lifters in the game. But if Kenny Sim can't load 5 stones, can John Pollock do it? Because these guys are very evenly matched. Can JP from Ayrshire be the first man to lift the 180 kilograms, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, he can. We have a new lead on the stones. Will he attempt the 200 kilo? Stephen Cherry, a very good friend and timekeeper, cheering the machine John Pollock on. Can he be the first man to complete the stone run and prove to everyone in Dumfries today that it can be done? His father just behind him cheering him on. Can he get this 200 kilo stone up The 180 was tough, but as the 200 get the better of John, unfortunately, today it has. They're now on to Ryan Reid. Ryan Reid is fast, but does he have the overall static power to lift this 180? Danny Moore is flying as well. 2 stones, 1 motioned. Danny has loaded 3. Both these guys know they have to load 5 faster than John Pollock to take the event lead. Ryan is now on to the 5th. It looks about the same time as John. Can he get this 5th stone up and take the lead away from John Pollock? Nope, he's struggling there. He might have to re-grip. He's not going to make that on. No, unfortunately, his upper back didn't have the power to pop up and stand upright. Same over here on the other side with Danny Moore from the Shetland Islands. He's attempting that 5th stone as well. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 18 strongest men in Scotland, but this is event number 6, and that stone weighs 400 pounds. These guys are exhausted, but so far, only one man has loaded that 5th stone, and that is Jonathan Pollock. Now we have Zaki versus Paul Benton. Paul is flying through the first 2 stones. He's going for time. 3rd stone, 1 motion. This could certainly threaten John Pollock's lead at the moment. Paul is attempting the 4th stone, and it's fast. Can he get this 5th stone up? But Paul Benton won't be wanting to finish in the 5th. He'll want that 6th stone up to send a marker out to the Stoltman brothers to make sure they have to load this 200 to take the event win. Zaki's doing well as well. Zaki struggled with the stones in the past due to lack of experience, but he's putting the stones up very, very well. Paul Benton has loaded the 5th stone. Was it faster than John Pollock? We'll find out in a minute. Zaki is unfortunate to lift the 5th, and Paul is calling it a day. He's not attempting the 200. Paul Benton did load the 5th stone, and he is the 2nd man to do so, but unfortunately he didn't load the stone as fast as John Pollock. John Pollock is still in the lead. Whatever happens, the trophy will have the name Stoltman on it, but it's head-to-head. Older Luke versus baby bro Tom. It's 1 stone apiece. 2 stones. Tom just looks slightly behind his brother. It's neck and neck, but Luke's just in the lead. Luke's just in the lead here. He's loaded the 4th stone faster, and it looks like he's going to load the 5th stone faster. He's in the lead now. Tom's just behind him. Can Luke load the 6th stone? I think it doesn't matter. He's won regardless, but this is just for sheer showboating. Can Luke Stoltman load 200 kilos off like absolute nothing, like a pebble? What a performance by Luke Stoltman. An incredible performance today. I would suggest perhaps his strongest ever. Out with the Hercules Hold, he has been phenomenal today, and he is now crowned 5 times Scotland's strongest man, taking the title from most wins in a row away from Christopher Innes from Speenbridge and Fort William. We now have the greatest ever, who is Luke Stoltman, the Inverness Oak, the Highland Oak. What a performance, and another fantastic performance from his brother as well. Runner-up again. It has been a phenomenal year here in Dumfries.
How's it feel, mate? Oh, it's emotional. This is the first year being Scotland's out, mum. She passed away in November. So it's my family and my friends and stuff, you know, they know how much it means to me and Tom. And it's special. So, no, thank you for all the support, guys. It means, honestly, to Tom and I, it means the world. I mean, I'm cut up, I mean, Jesus, it's 5 times!
18 of the strongest men from all over the country have done battle, and the winner of the 2017 Scotland's Strongest Man is that man there, Luke Stoltman.